And this is day 2 of Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's three-nation Europe tour. Prime Minister Modi met his Danish counterpart at Frederiksen's residence in Copenhagen. The two leaders also took part in bilateral engagements ahead of the India-Nordic summit. Notably, this is the Prime Minister's first visit to Denmark, but his third summit-level interaction with Frederiksen.
हमने यूक्रेन में तत्काल युद्ध विराम और समस्या के समाधान के लिए बातचीत और कूटनीति का रास्ता अपनाने की अपील की। हमने क्लाइमेट के क्षेत्र में अपने सहयोग पर भी चर्चा की। भारत ग्लासगो COP26 में लिए गए संकल्पों को पूरा करने के लिए भी प्रतिबद्ध है। हम आर्किटेक्ट क्षेत्र में सहयोग के अधिक अवसर तलाशने पर सहमत हुए हैं। एक्सेलेंसी, मुझे विश्वास है कि आपके नेतृत्व में भारत और डेनमार्क के संबंध नई ऊंचाई प्राप्त करेंगे। हम आशा करते हैं कि इंडिया EU फ्री ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट, उस पर नेगोशिएशंस यथाशीघ्र संपन्न होंगे। हमने एक फ्री, ओपन, इंक्लूसिव और रूल बेस्ड इंडो पैसिफिक क्षेत्र को सुनिश्चित करने पर जोर दिया।
We share many values. We are two democratic nations. We both believe in a rule-based international system. And in times as these, we need to build an even stronger bridge between us. As close partners, we, of course, also discussed the war in Ukraine.
On the agenda is the second India-Nordic summit hosted by Denmark. The Indian Prime Minister will also be interacting with other Nordic leaders, including the Prime Ministers of Iceland, Norway, Sweden and Finland.
Who was graced by Prime Minister Her Excellency Mette Frederiksen, who was present at this event. Bilateral discussions between the two leaders have also resulted in productive outcomes, and these include, I would list out the major outcomes after the discussions. Letter of intents was signed on smart water management, on green shipping, and announcement was also made about the launch of ministerial energy dialogue between the two countries. These three outcomes would strengthen the green strategic partnership between our two countries, including through cooperation in green technologies, green hydrogen, renewables, green sustainable development solutions, and fighting the climate change together. I must mention here that outside the tropics, Denmark was the first country to join the International Solar Alliance. Second, the discussions also led to the expansion of economic, trade, investment, digital and innovation cooperation between the two countries. This whole cluster is a very significant strand of our partnership. Around 200 Danish companies are present in India, and around 60 Indian companies are present in Denmark. In this space, the outcomes included the Memorandum of Understanding on skill development, vocational education, and entrepreneurship. Also, joint declaration of intent on the Center of Excellence on Animal Husbandry and Dairying. 3. Business and technology partnerships between the companies of India and Denmark across a range of sectors. And the two leaders also expressed their commitment to expedite the discussion and conclusion of India-EU FTA. There were also discussions on bilateral cooperation in the Arctic region, and the outcomes also included an element which relates to our people-to-people linkages, As you know, strong people-to-people linkages between India and Denmark provide an important underpinning to our shared values and to growing trade and investment ties. In this respect, an important outcome also was the joint declaration of intent on migration and mobility that would further strengthen our cooperation, including through expansion in trade and services. There was also a 5-year cultural exchange program which was signed, which would strengthen the cultural cooperation between our two countries. Later this evening, Prime Minister would also call on Her Majesty the Queen Margaret II, which is to be followed by a banquet dinner to be hosted by Her Majesty. Tomorrow, Prime Minister Modi ji would hold the second India-Nordic summit with the leaders of Finland, Sweden, Norway, Denmark and Iceland. He would also hold bilateral summit meetings with his counterparts from Sweden, Norway, Iceland and Finland prior to the second Nordic summit. Prime Minister Modi's visit starts a new chapter in India-Denmark Green Strategic Partnership and sets an ambitious agenda of cooperation which is mutually beneficial to both our countries, economies and societies. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. I know that we have next engagement coming up, so just take maybe a couple of questions. From DD, you had a query. Please go ahead.
Good evening, sir. I am Arun from DD India. I have a couple of questions. Number one, tomorrow Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be interacting or engaging with the Nordic leaders. In the wake of the Russia-Ukraine crisis, how is India going to engage with these Nordic leaders? That's number one. Number two, we have seen today that personal chemistry between both the leaders. So at any level, primarily, the issue of Kim Devi extradition, did that come up at any level, formally or informally, between both the leaders? And third question...
let's do the first couple. And okay, so maybe just...
Okay, thank you very much. Regarding the... Thank you very much. Regarding the agenda of tomorrow's summit meeting, second India-Nordic summit meeting, I think the scope of discussions for India-Nordic summit, as also for the bilateral summit meeting between Prime Minister and his counterparts from the remaining 4 countries, that is Sweden, Norway, Iceland and Finland, I think it focuses more and principally on the elements of bilateral cooperation, which essentially fall in 3 to 4 major clusters. One is the trade and investment ties. 2, the digital and innovation partnership. 3, the green partnership, so to speak. And 4, I would say, other areas of economic cooperation where there are developmental and capacity complementarities between the Nordic countries and India. Naturally, during these discussions, matters of regional and global interest would also come up for discussion. But the principal thrust, the principal focus of these discussions is how to carry forward the agenda of bilateral engagement between India and the Nordic countries. With regard to the Kim Devi question that you asked, that is an issue which is a subject matter of legal processes between the 2 countries, and those processes are currently underway. It would be incorrect for me to really make any comment with regard to those processes.
Okay, so before we end, they had one more question. So somebody, okay, just close it.
Sir, I'm Sudhakar Das from DD News. एक सवाल तो ये सर, जर्मनी में भी हमने देखा कि ग्रीन पार्टनरशिप पर बात हुई और यहाँ भी एक जॉइंट एक्शन प्लान की पीएम मोदी ने बात की है. तो जर्मनी में 10 बिलियन यूरो का कमिटमेंट जर्मनी की तरफ से किया गया था. इसमें क्या कुछ खास जॉइंट एक्शन प्लान में है? और दूसरा सवाल मेरा सर, सीईओज की जो मीटिंग हुई थी तो व्यापार काफी भारत और डेनमार्क के बीच 5-6 साल में बढ़ा है. तो इसमें कुछ क्या खास आकलन किस तरह से करते हैं आप सीईओज मीटिंग को?
देखिए, आपका जो प्रश्न है कि जो जर्मनी में ग्रीन सस्टेनेबल पार्टनरशिप पे जो दो नेताओं ने अपने हस्ताक्षर किए थे, उसके अंतर्गत ये प्रतिबद्धता थी कि जर्मनी जो है 10 बिलियन यूरो का सन 2030 तक भारत में निवेश करेगा। जहाँ तक डेनमार्क या अन्य नॉर्डिक देशों का प्रश्न है, जैसे कि मैंने आपसे पहले कहा, भारत तथा नॉर्डिक के देशों में क्षमताओं, तकनीक, वाणिज्य और कैपिटल की कॉम्प्लीमेंटैरिटीज हैं। हर देश की और हर भारत की हर देश के साथ जो संबंधों की रूपरेखा है वो हर देश की क्षमताओं और उनकी सीमितताओं के मद्देनजर चलती है। जहाँ तक भारत और डेनमार्क का प्रश्न है, भारत और बाकी नॉर्डिक देशों का प्रश्न है, ये सहयोग सहकार्य की जो रूपरेखा है ये भी दोनों देश के बीच में आधारित क्षमताओं पर ही परिपूर्ण होगी। जहाँ तक जॉइंट एक्शन प्लान की आपने जर्मनी में बात की, जैसे कि मैंने कहा, आज की वार्ता के बाद दोनों देशों ने 3 और 4 महत्वपूर्ण विषयों पे, स्मार्ट वाटर मैनेजमेंट की जैसे मैंने बात की, ग्रीन शिपिंग की जैसे मैंने बात की, इस प्रकार के कई और महत्वपूर्ण लेटर ऑफ इंटेंट पे आज सहमति हुई है, स्वीकृति हुई है। तो आगे आने वाले महीनों में और आगे आने वाले वर्षों में इसी के आधार पे भारत और डेनमार्क के बीच में जो ग्रीन स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनरशिप है, जो ग्रीन टेक्नोलॉजीज पे जो सहयोग है, जो रिन्यूएबल्स के क्षेत्र में सहकार्य है, जो पर्यावरण सुरक्षा के लेके जो भी कदम उठाने हैं वो इसी के अंतर्गत जॉइंट एक्शन प्लान के अंतर्गत ही कार्यान्वित होंगे। और ये 3 लेटर ऑफ इंटेंट जिसके बारे में मैंने बात की उसी के अंतर्गत जो है आज हस्ताक्षर किए गए हैं। जहाँ तक आपने CEO बिजनेस राउंड टेबल की बात की, मेरा मानना है कि ये वार्ता बहुत ही व्यापक रही। लगभग हर विषय, विंड एनर्जी से रिलेटेड मुद्दे हों, ग्रीन टेक्नोलॉजीज की मैन्युफैक्चरिंग का प्रश्न हो भारत में, और भारत तथा डेनमार्क के सहयोग से भारत में मैन्युफैक्चरिंग का प्रश्न हो, सौर ऊर्जा को लेके किस तरह से दोनों देश अपनी क्षमताओं को एक साथ जोड़ें, किस प्रकार से जो कि कन्वेंशनल मैन्युफैक्चरिंग प्रोसेसेस हैं उनको किस तरह से और ग्रीन बनाया जाए, इन सब विषयों को लेके और अन्य विषयों को लेके भी आज की जो वार्ता बिजनेस राउंड टेबल पे रही बहुत ही व्यापक रही।
We're listening in to the Indian Foreign Secretary and the Indian Ministry of External Affairs officials taking us through the key takeaways of the Indian Prime Minister's Europe visit, specifically his engagements in Denmark. This, of course, is the second leg of his 3-nation Europe tour in as many days. Let's go straight across now to our principal diplomatic correspondent, Siddhant Sibal, who has been tracking that visit very closely and taking us through the key takeaways. Siddhant, a crucial statement there coming in, talking about how the two leaders did discuss the India-EU free trade agreement as well. And we have all throughout been talking about how this visit does lay the groundwork for the India-EU summit and takes those discussions a step forward.
Well, important day for the India-Denmark relationship, whether it's the meeting between the two leaders or the diaspora component. But perhaps something that has stood out is the moment when both the prime ministers were present at the diaspora event and spoke about how the relationship has gone further. In fact, the diaspora not only chanted the name of the Indian prime minister, but also the name of the Denmark prime minister. And she, of course, was very taken aback, but very happy about it. But largely, if you look at the outcomes, it's green strategic partnership, it's celebration of this unique kind of partnership between the two countries, under which Denmark provides India the skills, and India does it on the basis of the vast scale. Largely, there are a number of pact signs, including the intent on mobility, something that will be able to, in future, bring more Indians to Denmark, and also when it comes to cultural exchanges as well. But what is something that stands out is how the relationship has completely turned, because it was in 2012 that the relationship had dipped over extradition of Kim Devi. He was responsible for the Purulia arms case, and the Denmark side that time said no. The question did came today as well, in response to which the Foreign Secretary said that it is a legal issue. But 10 years forward, you see those visuals of celebration of the relationship between India and Denmark here in Copenhagen is something that shows that how relationship can be taken forward if there is an intent.
Indeed, and we will continue to track those updates coming in. Thanks very much for the moment, Siddhant Sibal. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.